Hello, 大家好，我是 Jason Wang, 王凯杰。
I'm starting my journey through the world of Michelin-starred dining. I've got an appetite for learning about the culture of the countries I'll visit, using delicious foods and flavors to record my travels. Armed with my 5 senses, I want to take a closer look at how masterful chefs prepare the finest cuisine in the world. Come with me. Let's explore what it truly takes to create a Michelin star-worthy meal. In our last episode, I visited Michelin one-starred restaurant Babel, where I tasted the 5-course classic menu of chef István Veres that melded memories of his childhood with Transylvania and Hungarian flavors. While I enjoyed a sumptuous course of lamb neck, Chef István recommended a pairing with a Hungarian Tokaji wine that surprised me with its vibrant aroma and fresh minerality. It was delicious and came from Tokaji, Hungary's most revered historical wine region, whose most famous product is the Tokaji Azu, a highly priced sweet wine. Actually, during my trip here in Hungary, I've had a few run-ins with Tokaji Azu. Paired with duck liver at Costas and served alongside my slice of Dobos tort at Café Gerbeau. I guess you could easily say that this special noble rot wine is regarded as the national wine of Hungary. Well, today I'm visiting the Tokaji wine region to learn about this rare and expensive golden liquid. The Tokaji wine region is located in northeastern Hungary, about 200 kilometers east of Budapest. Driving there takes about 2.5 hours, but upon arrival, you've stepped into the borders of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Designated in 2002 and recognized as one of the oldest wine-producing regions in the world, Tokaji is filled with vast vineyards, villages, and wine cellars that tell the story of a culturally and historically precious landscape. From Tokaji comes the famous Tokaji Azu wine. Its rarity lets it sell for upwards of 3,000 Taiwan dollars per 500 milliliter bottle. What exactly is noble rot wine and why is it so treasured? Well, in simple terms, it's a Hungarian wine and it's sweet. If it isn't sweet, it's not a noble rot wine. But why is the production so scarce? Well, because to make noble rot wine, grapes must be infected with a noble rot fungus that makes the grape lose moisture, shrink, and concentrates their sweetness, thus creating a sweet wine. But not every place can produce noble rot fungus, since its presence requires a specific combination of weather and terrain. Tokaji is one of the few regions in the world that has the conditions needed to produce such a wine. There's a lot to be learned, and I'd better get my facts straight, so I've arrived in Mad, the village in Tokaji known to have one of the best terroirs of the region.
我们今天相当高兴有机会跟 Tokaji 酒庄的老板来聊一聊。So we're so thrilled to be here today to learn a little bit more about the region of Tokaji and some of its history. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes Tokaji wine region so special?
No, absolutely. First of all, you are welcome to Juliet Victor Winery. Tokaji used to have a long-standing heritage in supplying royal courts in Europe. The Russian Tsar, the French king used to be drinking Tokaji sweet wines centuries ago. But because of the socialist system, everything went down, and I think over the last 30-40 years, Tokaji is now trying to come back to where it used to be at global standards. I think this area, this region, this wine region has the potential to produce the world's finest and best quality sweet wines. But it's not only about sweet wines. The region is into dry white wines as well, simply because of the climate and the volcanic soil. This is the northeastern part of Hungary. It's a hilly area, and that hilly area has a special climate. Special climate produces a noble fungus, and the noble fungus creates this process of botrytis.
Yes.
And the botrytis is a natural sweetening process of the grape, which is the foundation of the sweet wine. So this is not an artificial, this is not a fortified sweet wine. This is all natural because it is all volcanic. It used to be an operating volcano here. Now it stopped.
Sure, a long time
hundreds
ago.
of years ago. The volcanic soil and the volcanic stones, gave you a backbone of minerals which make Tokaji wines very special and I think world class.
That's a lot of detailed information to digest, but there are 3 main points. 1. Special weather. 2. Noble rot is caused by the special weather. 3. The volcanic stones in the volcanic terrain. These three conditions allow the creation of the rare and expensive noble rot wine, Tokaji Aju. Before heading into the vineyards, Josef, the winery's owner, shows me some of the volcanic stones to help me understand.
These rocks come from the wine field because it is a volcanic area and the field is full of rocks. And let me just show you something.
Okay.
So if you take this particular rock, you see lots of holes inside the rock. They were all created by the roots of the vine.
Oh.
So they go deep down, and that's how they suck the minerals out of the rock, and that's why you feel it in the character of the vine.
这个都是葡萄的 vine 的梗子长进去，然后它会把里头的矿类的东西吸出来，所以难怪 Tokaji wine 有这种很特别的味道。Wow. And these are also different types of.
These are different types of rocks with different minerals, and that's why you go to one terroir and you have a specific taste, a certain character of the vine. You go to another terroir with different rocks, and the character starts changing.
不同种的地方是石头的类是完全不一样，所以也许有同样的一种品种的葡萄，但是你种在不同的地方，它的味道是完全不一样。
Wow, I've learned something completely new. No wonder people from Tokaji say they put grapes on the stone. Next, I'm heading to the vineyard to uncover even more secrets of the Tokaji Aju.
Actually, we are now in Vineyard Bomboy.
Okay.
And here you can see the grape variety Furmint.
Furmint. Okay.
Yeah, so actually it's an authentic Hungarian grape variety. It's a typical Furmint shape. The Furmint shape, it's a long one. Actually, it's important because it can bring the best terroir of Tokaji and especially of Mad, because I'm sure that you already realized
I see there's rocks everywhere.
Yeah, the stones, the rocks.
Yeah.
So actually it's thanks to the active volcanoes in 200 million years ago. So the heritage of the wine region is the rocks, the volcanic soil. So actually it's a rhyolite too, but we have red clay and andesite.
Okay.
And actually all these rocks are inside very deep into the ground. So actually this plantation average age is 45 years old.
Okay.
And the roots are in 10 meter long. Absorbing the minerality.
Okay.
And this is why so rich and complex.
That's the flavor. It's incredible. The grapes here really do grow on stones. 3 factors that contribute to Tokaji Aju are the weather, the noble rot, and the area's volcanic terrain. But there's a 4th factor, the Furmint grape variety. Furmint is a native grape variety of Tokaji that's been grown in the region for hundreds of years. Since it has strong acidity, high sugar levels, and is susceptible to noble rot, it's always used as the main variety when making Tokaji Aju. More than 60% of the vines planted in the region are Furmint. Next, I've got some key questions.
So the grapes here are green. They're looking really beautiful. But what is the process for the botrytis and the noble rot, and how does that happen?
The grapes are in the growing process.
Okay.
Around October and November, the berries start like shriveling, losing the juice.
Okay.
So actually the sugar gets more concentrated and the sugar level gets more higher.
Okay.
And it's very, very important that we are not adding any artificial like whey sugar to the
increase.
acid.
Okay.
Yeah. And the noble rot called botrytis appears around the berries. We are hand picking it.
Okay.
So hand by hand, berries by berries.
It's very labor intensive.
Yeah.
Grapes that have been affected with the noble rot fungus, also known as botrytis, are called Asu grapes, which is what you see on the screen. When the noble rot settles on grapes, the fungus penetrates the skins and absorbs nutrients. The tiny holes in the grape skins allow moisture loss, and as the grape shrivels, its sugars concentrate. When these Asu grapes dry and flatten, kind of like raisins, they can be used to make the botrytized wines known as Tokaji Asu. Not every grape in a bunch will be infected, so each botrytized grape must be hand-picked off the vine. Also, if the noble rot is too developed, those grapes can't be used either for the wine. Most importantly, the fungus occurs naturally and it only appears in years of optimal temperature and humidity. So some years there's no botrytis and no Azu grapes to harvest, and no Tokaji Azu can be made. No wonder the production of this wine is so limited. do you guys have to put fertilizer or do you have to?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Okay.
So we are not using any fertilizers like artificial ones because this is the season when we are cutting the bunches.
Pruning them, okay.
Pruning them. In order to reach the highest quality, we are leaving only 1.8 kilogram on the plantation.
Okay.
For the mass production, you can leave up to 5, 8, 9 kilogram.
And what happens to the grapes that you prune?
Actually, it's falling down on the ground.
Okay.
And actually, this is how we're using in the fertilization.
That's the fertilizer. Okay.
So it's absolutely a kind of organic.
It's feeding itself.
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah. Wow.
But you know, it's a kind of very costly and expensive way of the winemaking.
Yeah.
But this is how we believe that we can produce premium and the very, very top quality.
Now you understand the reason why Tokai Asu is so expensive. In the Tokai region, you'll find vineyards are located on hillsides since this is the environment in the area best suited for growing Asu grapes. There are 2 rivers near Tokai, and with the region's valley topography helping to trap moisture from the river, it also helps drainage and increases the grape's exposure to sunshine. Ideal weather conditions for optimal growth of the Asu grapes include fog in the morning and sun in the afternoon. According to statistics, only about 3.5 years of every 10-year period will yield a good harvest. MOD has established its own association called the Maricor to regulate the quality of the region's wines. So by December 31st of each year, the association publishes whether or not Azu will be produced in that vintage. The golden liquid that King Louis XIV proclaimed as King of Wines isn't easy to come by. Now that we've gotten a sense of how the Azu grapes grow, we're headed into a cellar to find out how the grapes are processed into Tokai wine. How we go from grapes in the vineyard to this wonderful Tokai Azu here that are in the barrels.
So after picking the berries in the vineyards, we are bringing directly here to the pressing house, which is right up us. We are pressing the base wine, the juice, and actually we are adding the botrytized berries to that base wine. We are leaving it on the base wine on the skin, and actually we are placing it to the oak barrels. So actually the aging in a new oak barrel, it's 1.5 years, and after happening the bottling process, in the bottle it's another half year. And after you can start to sell after 3 years of aging.
Wow. We noticed on some of the bottles of the Tokai Asu, the sweet ones, it says 5 petunios or 6 petunios. What is that actually?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking, because actually I know that it's a bit confusing. The 19th century, we used to start the puttonyos grading. Putton in Hungarian means basket.
Basket.
Like in the old time,
people were
during the harvesting, you put on your back the basket, and you hand-picked asu berry by hand, and you put in your basket to your putton. Originally, we used to have a Gunzi barrel, which is 132 liter big. If you added 1 basket putton, this was 1 puttonyos. If you added 2 basket, it was 2 puttonyos, 3 puttonyos, 5 and 6. So if you added 6 putton of shriveled botrytized berries, you created 6 puttonyos asu. But actually from 2014, we are not using anymore the old putton regulation. We are using only 5 and 6p.
Each puttony yields about 22 to 23 liters. For each additional puttony, the Tokai Asu must ferment for another year due to the increased sugar levels. So a 6 puttonyos wine takes at least 8 years to mature. Meanwhile, there are also strict requirements for the temperature and humidity of the storage cellar. Generally, temperatures of 8 to 12 Celsius with 85 to 90% humidity are ideal. When you see the walls covered with mold, you know you have the conditions right. I've already tasted some Tokai Asu in Budapest, so Zuzana brings me on a lovely picnic to try another style of Tokai wine from MOD, which is currently gaining a big following.
It's the Juliette Victor dry furmint. It's actually a vineyard selection. It's dry furmint, 100% furmint. For the furmint, the special characters are like green apple, pears. First look.
Look.
Yeah, you can see it's crystal clear.
It's beautiful.
You can feel, taste the terroir of mud and the vineyard.
It has a really bright, fresh taste, but also very full. I wouldn't say it's like spicy, but it has a very kind of fresh.
The minerality because of the rocks that we are sitting on.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. In addition to Tokai Asu, in recent years, the region has also produced dry furmint wines, since noble rot doesn't always occur each season. Grapes without botrytis were made into this wine, but because of the volcanic growing terrain, the dry furmint had intense and unique minerality that people fell in love with. Next, Zuzana invites me to try another sweet wine, similar to Tokai Asu. This is the Samorodny.
Yeah, the sweet one. It has furmint, muscat lunel, and harsh-levelű.
With 3 different grape varieties.
Yes. For me, it's like a liquid gold. It's thanks to the botrytis berries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, what a treat. So Zamorodny has aromas of ripe apricots and the best honey with a deliciously sweet taste. Because of its sugar content, it has a slightly darker color than the dry furmint from just now. Zamorodny is made with Asu grapes, but unlike Tokai Asu, the process uses entire bunches instead of individual grapes. So the mix of botrytized and regular grapes on any given bunch gives sweetness, but not nearly to the level of Tokai Asu. Meanwhile, the firm acidity from the furmint counters the sweetness, creating for many what is an irresistibly delicious balance. Sitting here with the spectacular view of the sunset, drinking wine with the vineyard sprawled all around is the height of enjoyment. I'm staying over tonight in Mod so I can soak in the magic of this World Heritage region. Early next day, I wake up to warm sunshine. This former winery building has now been converted into a guest house. It's part of a larger functioning artisan winery owned and run by a member of the Madi Kö. In recent years, in addition to producing wines, Mod has come together as a community to promote tourism, hoping to share the culture of its winemaking traditions with visitors and teaching people about the volcanic terrain of this unique wine region.
Hello, sir.
Oh, good morning. Hi, I'm Jason.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's absolutely gorgeous here, and I mean...
Thank you. So this is the Tokai region, which is 80 kilometers long. The World Heritage Site has 27 villages, and Mod is one of them.
Mod, so we're in Mod right now.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about, the buildings I'm seeing? And
this has been a winery for 500 years.
Wow.
And it belonged to the Polish origin Pulski family. He was a very famous writer in Hungarian history, and he was the founder of the Hungarian National Museum, making it world famous.
So some of the buildings we're seeing are from the original architecture, or was redesigned?
We completely 100% reconstructed all the buildings and giving it the winery style in the modern world.
Wow.
We tried to get as close to the World Heritage.
Respectful of the heritage.
Yes.
Awesome.
The winery owner, Endra, is one of Mod's high-profile young winemakers. He holds a law degree and a PhD in journalism, but later changed professions after becoming interested in learning the craft of winemaking. Starting in 2003, Endra and his father began growing grapes organically and making wine here. After buying the property, they restored the previously war-damaged site and turned it into a functional winery and bed and breakfast.
What's this?
Well, that's a well
Okay.
for watering, which is part of the built culture origin of the country.
Okay.
Because it's a very old well.
Yeah.
Actually, everything is very old here.
I mean, just look at the tree here. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's a 300 years old queen's tree. It's special. We try to keep it alive.
So, Andrew, can you tell us about the history of this particular building?
So this building has been a winery since 500 years.
Oh.
So underground we have a huge amount of cellars.
Cellars,
yes.
okay.
Let me first show you the original house.
Okay, let's take a look. Thank you. Oh.
Welcome to the 500-year-old house.
Oh.
This is the foundation of the building.
Like the beams, the architecture, what are these?
So everything is
newer?
100% original renovation.
Oh my God.
And it has natural air condition because it's been built of the local stones.
Oh.
And the walls are very thick because they have to keep the floors, and underneath there is the cellar. So that's why the walls are so thick, and it helps us with the climate. In the winter they give heat, and in the summer they keep us cold.
The building's reconstructed exterior actually covers the 500-year-old framework of the original interior. Endre used it only to entertain friends at the start, but friends loved it so much that they convinced him to rent it out as a converted bed and breakfast. Next, Endre takes me to see the Winery Complex, and, recognized as a place of cultural importance in the Tokai region, its wine cellar. Nice. Oh, wow.
Follow me.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Wow. Whoa. It's quite chilly down here, but quite amazing.
Yeah, it's natural air condition.
Yeah.
And that's why we keep the wines over here.
So this is the wine storage?
This is one of the wine storages because we have 300 meters of cellars.
Okay.
And that's the best and most proper place of keeping the wines in the best conditions.
So all the different varieties you produce are stored here?
Yes, we have 9 kinds of wines because we are fully organic, registered organic in the vineyards. And I press the wines with my 2 hands.
By hand,
Yes, with 100 years of presses.
So you touch every single vine?
Yes, definitely, yes. And in our idea, because we are World Heritage, that's why we are organic, and in the cellar the wines should be stored properly. But there's even more underground.
More?
I will show you.
More, okay.
Yes.
还有更神秘的地方，他要带我
Come with
去
me.
看。Down here?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Come on. So in the old days, during the centuries after harvest, after the big work, during the winter time when they had time, they were carving these cellars.
Oh, so they're not wasting any...
No wasted time.
Oh, wow.
And this volcanic geology is able to keep itself.
Yes, because I'm wondering, if there's moisture, does it break down? Or
no, it's fine. It's fine since centuries.
Oh my gosh. And so there's more down?
Yes, we can go even deeper.
And the temperature is just getting...
Yes, the temperature is getting lower because of the layers and the levels. During the depth, the temperature is changing. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Back in the day, how people just started on the surface and kept digging down and kept digging down?
Yes, because there are more cellars beneath this village than streets on the top.
Oh, wow.
So it's not only me who have 300 meters of cellars, and usually there are 3 layers of cellars beneath each other. And the deepest cellars are so cold that I can't really use it for winemaking purposes.
所以你们感觉不到，但是已经变得相当冷了在这边。Without seeing it in person, I would have no idea that the underground wine cellar is so spectacular with a network of tunnels and stairs running in all directions. And among it all, bottles of Tokai quietly sleeping for generations. During World War II and the Soviet occupation of Hungary, many of Tokai's wineries fell under control of the state. Only starting in 1990 with the dissolution of communist rule did Tokai wine, just like the Mangalitsa pigs from our earlier episode, slowly begin to rebuild its former glory.
So this is the original Tokai bottle shape.
Yes.
That's what we are using since the Rakoti time.
May I?
Sure.
Wow. And you can tell it's nice and chill already.
These are old vintages.
So it's all alive.
Everything is alive. There's a life beneath underground.
Yeah.
So yes, there's no light, but very special species live. And actually, I do have bats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean around 30 of them.
哇，它还有蝙蝠会有住在这边，然后你看，虽然是在玻璃里头的瓶子，这个酒都还是活的东西，都有酶。然后你不要想到进瓶子的时候，酒就是变成死的东西，这是一直是活变的东西。
And the bats are hiding. They are my pets.
啊，他说蝙蝠是他的 pet， 在这边帮他们养。Wow.
But they are scared of you.
But they are. Hello.
They are in the other side of the cellar. Yes.
With an eye towards conservation of this region's important landscape and cultural heritage, Endra cultivates the vineyards organically, still uses traditional winemaking methods, and still processes the grapes manually with old-fashioned presses. This place is a World Heritage Site alive with the breath of the winemaker and grapes co-mingling among the rugged volcanic terrain. Together, they partnered to create one of the world's most distinctive wines, whose spectacular flavors belong uniquely to Tokai. I would love to stay longer, but I've already planned a cooking date with Chef Istvan. He's got a special dish planned for me that will be a whole other set of flavors to remember as my taste of Budapest.
非常难得，今天有机会来米其林餐厅 Babel 的厨房，来跟我们的主厨 Istvan Veres 来做一道菜。So Chef Istvan, thank you for having us here today. It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you. Can you tell us a little bit about which dish you're going to be preparing for us today?
So I choose today a kind of salad from snail eggs.
Snail eggs?
Yeah. I choose this dish because it's so fresh.
Fresh, and especially for summertime, it's nice to have things that are wonderful. So, can you tell us a little bit about the ingredients we're using today?
So we're gonna use the fennel.
Fennel, okay.
Especially the green part.
Oh, okay.
From this part, we're gonna make an oil. Green oil.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna use cucumber.
Cucumber?
We're gonna compress in the oil, fennel oil. And then we're gonna chop some mange too.
Oh.
So fresh.
Beautiful, yeah.
Enjoy it.
Okay, thanks.
So fresh, it's crunchy.
Sweet and delicious, wow.
Then we're gonna hang up the yogurt.
Yogurt,
and we're gonna use only the whey for the sauce. And we're using also in the sauce kind of Hungarian cheese.
OK， 观众们，我跟你看一下，这个是很特别的。So this is called fennel。有些人用茴香来包饺子，但是今天用茴香做成一种油，然后他再要把这个油再腌制这个黄瓜。这个概念是用所有的一个食材的部分，不光是把这个头切掉，然后不要了，那还要加上 snow peas， 所以不见得是要快炒的，这个可以做成米其林等级的一道菜。
Chef Istvan designed this salad for me. In fact, there's actually a very special main ingredient, but that's all he'll say for now. He wants me to be surprised when we get to it.
All right, so
we're gonna start with the sauce.
OK，
Yeah, we already hang it up and
OK
is the way.
OK， 所以他们把 yogurt 吊起来，这些里头的那个汁都全部在这边，所以这个是到时候变成sauce。
We're gonna put the cheese. Hungarian cheese. So we're gonna open this.
Why did you choose this particular kind of cheese for this dish?
I think it's not that strong flavor.
Not as
I
strong.
also have the flavor of cheese.
Oh,
So we're gonna cut in small brunoise.
OK。所以你看，不管是切什么东西，刀工是相当重要的。每个切得很均匀。
Do you want me to help you?
Oh yeah, I'll help you. Yeah.
Okay.
Into
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
It's nice like this. Okay. We're gonna infuse in the sauce.
OK.
That's it. Just for the flavor.
All right, how's that?
It's nice. Perfect.
Okay.
It's enough.
Enough.
We're gonna
okay.
keep this,
Okay.
and then we're gonna put in the.
Well, I think it's very interesting. You're putting in dairy into dairy products, so you're kind of layering the flavors.
We're gonna infuse them slowly.
Okay.
Then in the same time, we're
Cucumbers.
gonna slice the cucumbers.
Okay. Wonderful.
So we're gonna use the mandolin
mandolin.
for slicing.
Oh,
Can you
God.
use it?
Yeah, I can use a mandolin.
Just carefully. It's
Okay.
really sharp.
So, would you like long strips?
Yeah,
or-
long strips. Yeah.
Okay, long strips. All right. So here we go.
Just careful.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice. Maybe a little bit thinner.
Thinner. Oops.
Yeah. Sorry.
所以主厨一看，他说这个太厚，所以是这种很详细的这种
this is
小 details
It's perfect.
很重要。Okay.
It's perfect.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
These are
okay.
perfect.
I'm incredibly honored to join Chef Istvan in preparing this dish together. The ingredients we're using are easily available and have familiar flavors, so I'm curious to see how Chef is going to creatively transform them into something that tastes completely new.
So we're gonna compress this in the oil. So here's the fennel oil. It's already ready.
Okay. How do you make the fennel oil?
So we are infusing the fennel.
Oh.
83 degrees
Okay.
overnight. So it's a long time.
所以这个油是从这个菜提炼出来的，他们是过夜会把这个腌在油里头，然后到时候温度不能太高，然后到时候炼出来的就是这种很漂亮的。And the beautiful green color we're seeing is from all the tops.
Yeah, it's from top.
Wow, okay.
We're gonna put a little bit in
Okay.
the back.
所以他把油放一点。
Then we're gonna put the cucumber inside.
Cucumbers. Okay. So 黄瓜它到时候就放在这里头。When you're thinking about how you compose a dish, what are some of the elements that you're thinking of?
I like the main thing that have to be fresh. I really keep attention of the acidity of the dish. So then we're
Alright.
gonna compress it.
Compress. Okay.
That's it.
Now I think it's really gorgeous. It's all green.
Yeah.
It's all green.
Yeah, the dish is green as well.
Green is Chef Istvan's favorite color. Do you remember the vibrant sorbet he made with that green apple? That was a creative tour de force, but here we see another example. Fennel doesn't get used in its typical vegetable form. Instead, Chef Istvan captures its aroma in oil. Amazing.
Wow. Okay. So cucumber. So you're not cooking it. It's just infusing.
Yeah.
Okay. So 你看好漂亮，都是透明的。
We're gonna keep this in the fridge.
Okay.
So then we're gonna chop this.
Okay.
I'm gonna
May
put
I?
this in. Yeah, of course. Just Juliet.
Juliet.
I'm gonna show you one.
Okay. Thanks.
Maybe two. You chop the edge.
Okay.
Let's go. And then like this.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay. It's really interesting in Asian cooking. They love to use.
Really?
They love to use this, yes. And oftentimes they will stir fry whole, but also they will sometimes cut it like this into julienne, and then mix it with bean sprouts and carrots and do lots of other things for it. So I think it's really interesting, just the texture. You can take something like this and transform it just by the way you cut it. I think that's something that's really interesting as well.
This one is enough.
Okay.
This is really nice.
Okay. Thank you.
Clean a little bit.
Clean it.
Section.
所以你看，每一个步骤完了，厨师还要把这些的东西完全清干净。所以在这种等级的餐馆是一定会维持砧板的干净，很重要。
Then we're gonna use the fennel.
Wonderful. 这个炒肉丝很好吃。
Then we're gonna pick the green.
Oh, the fronds.
The
Okay.
potatoes. We're gonna give you tweezers. We're gonna use only the nice ones.
Got it. Okay. And this is going to be used for garnish?
Yeah, for
Okay.
decoration.
For decoration.
For taste as well.
Ah.
The flavor of the fennel is extracted into oil. The entire vegetable gets used, even the delicate fronds that are often thrown away. Chef explores the complete possibilities of one ingredient. This is the attitude needed for Michelin-level cooking. Next, Chef Istvan thickens the whey sauce, removing bubbles with a special chamber vacuum. Though the ingredients aren't unusual, Chef transforms them with complex techniques to concentrate the flavors of each one. Pay close attention now, we're about to see our secret main ingredient.
So
What are these?
these are the quail balls.
It's the thymus gland? No.
This is the balls. the balls. That's good.
Oh, got it. 所以原来这是公的鸽子的睾丸。Now, chef, question. This is a not so commonly used ingredient, correct? Or
Not really.
how did you decide that you wanted to use these?
Babel philosophies that we are using any part of the ingredients.
Okay.
So we're gonna fry it.
So 果了粉我们要去炸。
Using the quail balls really surprised me. I had no idea that Europeans were so open to all offal meats. Chef tells me that it's really important to fry them carefully since their membrane is delicate and the balls can easily overcook or burst.
Yes.
These are the balls. We already fried. First we grind the sweet bread,
Okay.
and then we cook it in sous vide for half an hour.
Okay.
So we already prepped it.
Yeah. 所以这个是已经被腌过，还有酥肥过，然后再去炸。所以看起来是很简单，但是已经是有很多 difficult 不同的 technique 已经放在里头。
Do you want to plate the dish?
Yes,
I'm
I'd
gonna
love
plate
to.
one and you're gonna plate
Okay,
it. No,
thank you.
Okay. We're gonna start with a little bit of sauce here at the bottom.
所以我们
liquidy,
先
you
炸
see? It's a little bit liquidy, like this. Then we're gonna use the
oil.
oil.
Okay.
We're gonna put the just small dots inside.
那你看厨师已经做的这样子，我发现是已经有想到形状。那你看这个 bowl 是圆的 ，sauce 里头也是圆的，然后一滴一滴的油也是圆的。所以虽然是很简单的这种 preparation， 但是摆盘，而且你要想到怎么样设计，这个是相当 important。
Here are the cucumbers as well. Smell so fresh. It smells like fennel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's really nice.
这个香味
So
是
fresh.
非常强烈的这种茴香的香。Yes.
Then we're gonna use a bowl.
Okay.
You can put in. Gonna use a cucumber. Try to hide the balls.
Okay.
Okay. Then we're gonna put the mange too. It's a very delicate dish.
Oh yeah.
You have to treat like a girl. Like a girl, you know? Then we're gonna put the snail eggs.
So can you tell us a little bit about this product? How is it that you ended up pairing this with?
If you taste it,
Okay.
it's like salty and smoky flavor.
Oh my gosh.
Nice, yeah?
That's great. 他们有烟熏过，然后加盐 so it has a really nice full flavor.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
beautiful.
It's very nice.
我们刚才在厨房里跟主厨一起做了一道菜，那我们现在要来品尝。那不光是主厨，在我们旁边也有Babel餐厅的主人。Hi, I'm Jason. So nice to meet you. And you are?
I'm Hubert.
Hubert. What was your inspiration for creating this dish? Now, have you had quail balls before?
I never tried before.
You never tried it?
We have a nice supplier, quail supplier.
Okay.
He bring us quail balls
Okay.
for free.
Yeah.
So I wanted to use it.
Oh, wonderful. Can I taste the dish now?
Please.
Okay. Wow. Here we go. 那这道菜是相当有层次的，蜗牛的蛋的这种口感很特别，而且是用烟熏过，外面是很湿润，但是你咬一下会爆，这些慢慢的甜味，然后烟熏味就在嘴巴。这个 sauce 里头有一点熏的味道，而且制成不同种的这些青菜，做成不同的口感，而且我们黄瓜在里头。也是一种很嫩的，但是脆的口感。那 quail 的口感也很特别，因为外面又是酥的，但是咬进去里面是绵绵的，这种很滑润的这种，所以跟这个青菜搭上，有一种脂肪的这种很 rich 的这种感觉，相当配。
Chef Istvan showing me how to prepare one of his amazing dishes was an unforgettable experience. I'll always have the memory of hiding in Chef's kitchen to escape the summer heat wave in Budapest and cooking and tasting that stunning and deliciously refreshing bite. So we are in this beautiful restaurant setting, and Hubert, can you tell us a little bit about how, I mean, Babel, when we think about that, it's maybe there's a reference to somewhere, or how is it that this restaurant came to be, and why is it called Babel?
So the name comes from like 10, 11 years.
Okay.
When I established the restaurant, which was in a pedestrian street, not far from here, actually behind the other street. It was a very busy street with all the foreigner people. And I thought, you know, give a name which means that we are all different, but there's something remain that we are still connected, which was our
stomachs
taste
and our taste.
stomach,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And then the other perspective of this thought was that, you know, when they wanted to reach the gods with the knowledge. So this is what we try to do in gastronomy, to reach the perfection of everything. So that's
amazing. So it's layers and layers. And I think it's just, I think it's incredibly special, this idea of just language and how we communicate with people. And I think especially with you, it's very clear that the food speaks a story of who you are and where you come from. You know, our audience members, they speak Chinese, and we're speaking Hungarian, and we're speaking English, but I think food is a really universal language.
This is proven here, right?
Yes.
We're talking about from two different countries.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about how you formed this working partnership with Chef Istvan? Were you friends before, or?
No, actually, how it happened is quite unusual.
Really?
Yes, because I closed the restaurant more than 3 years ago because I was not very happy with the results. I closed, and then I was looking for the partner in crime who could do it together with. And then I connected the first chef of Babel. We did together the first restaurant. He had also a Michelin star already. Accidentally, he got Istvan's CV from somewhere. He applied to some other restaurants, and he got the CV. So I phoned him, and he was abroad in Transylvania. And then he was very busy. It was a very funny story because he was very busy with washing big pots. Now I know.
Really?
And, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I said, okay, I'm the owner of Babel, and I was used to, you know, this is a very famous restaurant. So I was assumed that he knows about it, and said, okay, what about that? Okay, send me an email. And I was like, all right, you can wait for the email. And then he called me back after two weeks. I mean, he sounded rude, but I didn't know that he was just busy. He called me back and said, okay, now I know what it is, and I'm interested. So he was coming here for a tasting, cooking. We tasted it, and it was great, and we started to work together, and this is how we started.
Chef Istvan, we're wondering, how did you find out about the details of the restaurant? You called people, or you Googled it, or?
I just Googled it.
And what was your reaction when you?
I liked the restaurant. Honestly, it wasn't my style, the cooking.
Oh, sure, okay.
The food, but I like the
decor
and the whole restaurant.
These two like-minded colleagues share a mutual respect and admiration for one another's contributions. Teaming up, they earned their first Michelin star in 2019, making every effort to guarantee that all guests leave their restaurant with a memorable and unique dining experience. So I just really want to thank both of you for taking the time to speak with me today. Something for you guys from Taiwan that I brought for you, and it has a smell to it already, right? What is it? Can you tell?
Similar to something, but I don't know.
This is actually a dried fermented bamboo shoot from Taiwan that I bought. And it's been the bamboo shoot they harvest, they boil it, they salt it, and then they pull it into long strips, and then they let it dry. And then as it kind of ferments, it gets this kind of sour smell to it. But this is, I know a lot of Hungarian cuisine does have lots of meat usage, and traditionally in Taiwan they would soak it, rehydrate it, and then they would cut it into sections, and then they stew it with meat. It goes really well because it picks up a lot of the fattiness and things like that. So it has a wonderful texture to it because it's a little bit crunchy, but because it's slightly dried and then pickled, it's a really interesting texture. So this is for you to kind of experiment with, and then you'll have to let me know what you think of it.
Thank you so much.
It's very traditional thing. So, but it has a very strong aroma. You can smell.
Wow, you can.
Right?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Istvan, for your hospitality and demonstrating some of the core philosophies behind Michelin-level cuisine. Actually, during the filming, the restaurant was open for dinner service, but every person in the kitchen kept on task, business as usual. They showed a respect for their work, their enthusiasm for their guests, and pride in themselves. It's the same attitude like the wineries I visited in Tokai, where they insist on making only the best quality wines while respecting tradition, showing responsibility to the environment, and striving to maintain the proud reputation of this important wine region. In the next episode, my trip here draws to a close as I visit the only restaurant in Hungary awarded 2 Michelin stars in 2019. Exactly what kind of cooking led this restaurant to be the first in Central Europe to earn 2 Michelin stars? Join me and let's find out.